This video, it's years in the making, and you have to reevaluate life. You have to really get to know people, and you really have to have experience after experience. You learn some lessons at an early age, some go through life, learn a bit, and never truly understand the meaning. Or, anyway, enough of that philosophical banter. Let me get right to it, right? Okay. Well, I'll just say it. How do I say this? Okay. Well, if you exude a little bit of confidence or a little bit of happiness or a little bit of pride or self-worth or any ounce that you're feeling yourself, any ounce that you're confident, any ounce that you're happy or in a good mood, or any ounce of positivity, especially about yourself or even about other people. There are people who are in a bad mood. There are people who are not happy. It's okay not to be happy. You're not happy all the time. So there's people who's going to be like, it's a double-edged sword. That there are people who are in their heads. It's okay to be happy in a good mood. And we wish you're happy like you sometimes. Even though that could be a phase, but a face. But at the same time, no one's happy all the time. You know what I mean? But there are people who are like, oh, why are you so miserable all the time? Oh, well, you're a miserable, whiny guy. You're not happy. All that Jumberjantis. And then there's the other end of the spectrum when you're a miserable toad, which is okay. We all go through stuff. And you're like, oh, why is he so happy all the time? Or you must really think you're the hot. You must really think you're that good. Or you must really think you're the man. Or you must really think you're the bee's knees. So I think you already get what I'm saying. So I think I pretty much made my point. I'm gonna talk in circles at this point. So exude a little bit of confidence. You're all of a sudden cocky. You're all of a sudden think you're invincible. And people have a problem with that. And then the other end of the spectrum. You're sad all the time. You're going through hell. And then people, oh, am I allowed to say hell? But people, hell, as in the destination, hell. But anyway, you're going through rough times, and people are like, oh, you are so miserable all the time. Why don't you smile? Smile. Alright, so get what I'm saying? So what's the takeaway? Well, just, I guess, in general, just disregard what people say. I mean, take bits and pieces of what's helpful. What's negative, unless it's like helpful, don't always see it as negative when it's helpful. Don't always see it as negative. But if it's truly negative, just disregard it, man. Just still do your thing. Don't stop. Don't stop. You know what I mean. And if you're actually not happy, don't listen to those who tell you to smile. Don't freaking fake a smile. Don't put a no, I don't want to use profanity. I don't have to. Profanity to talk tough. That's another thing. You want to talk tough, you want to curse, you want to say I'm adult and all that nonsense. And then when you see somebody that doesn't curse, you want to say, oh, that person's a baby. That person doesn't curse. That person's a goody two-shoes. That person is innocent. You know what I think, man? You want to corrupt somebody. You want to think they're some sort of inexperienced loser when they're just trying to do what's right. and they're squares for it, so be it. You want to be tough, you want to be the bad boy, you want to be the rebel. When you're young, I guess you want to be cool. You don't want to look up to virtuous people. You see them as fools. But hey, man, I guess being the virtuous fool could actually, they're onto something. Anyway, regardless of what I'm even saying, everything I said right now, self-worth and self-confidence, that's really the thing that matters the most. Your gifts, your qualities, your journeys, your strengths, and your weaknesses, successes, and failures, that's what builds self-confidence. That's what gives you the means of self-confidence. And your flaws, that kind of could damage self-confidence if you dwell on it too much. But always try to improve everything, including your flaws. But if you can't really control it, it will improve naturally with whatever. And there is a way, you know? But it has to be truly what you want, you know? You know what I mean? But anyway, like I was even saying, so, like your gifts, your journeys, your strengths, your weaknesses, your flaws, that's a means of building self-confidence. You could be maxed out at all of that, and if you still don't have self-confidence, then no amount of gift, no amount of girls, no amount of booze, no amount of food, no amount of drugs, no amount of weed, no amount of muscle, no amount of strength, no amount of knowledge, no amount of credentials, no amount of promotion, and no amount of cosmetic procedure and enhancement or even anything would improve it. And then you could be the polar opposite. Have nothing. Have nothing special. Average Joe. Maybe not good at anything. But up here, right? You have the self-worth. You don't let anybody phase you. You have self-worth. Maybe if you believe in nothing, but you just keep on keeping on and just doing what you gotta do. That's really what matters. Alright, 8 minutes. We out, son. Peace.